one session. No, 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I did summarize everything that Daryl missed,
Ooh,
but maybe I just read that.
maybe.
I'll read the last few bullet points of that. So you were there when you were in the Western Barracks. The party found sufficient evidence of Khorne shenanigans. They find a big brass key. They go and find the lieutenant of the base. They find him in the chapel. He's turning into a Korgoroth. He attacks them. He dies. And then before the Grey Caps can rush in and attack the party, they run out of a window, over the wall, over the garden wall, and escape. They give the evidence to Onderan of the Grey Cap's corruption, and he asks the party to go and confront Goldmane, because of course he was pretty much partners with Astrid and the captain of the Grey Caps. So they found him in a factory with the captain of the Grey Caps, Captain Fornoy, and they saw Captain Fornoy giving him the demon blade that Astrid Tavir had.
Wait, we turned to gold, didn't we?
No.
Is that the chompy sword, is it?
Yeah.
We just left it there, did we?
I think you gave it to like the right people to be taken away, but
Sure. Okay.
Can't trust anyone in this city.
You can't trust nobody in this city. The party confronts Goldmane, who offers them a deal. They will defend the city, help defend the city from the Sylvaneth, and then afterwards they will take their followers and go and set up a new settlement somewhere else. Of course, the party said no. Dreadbark tries to find out how they have corrupted the Sylvaneth and the cheat code to turn them back to normal. And Fornoy says, doesn't work like that. Read a book. That's not how civilizations work. Goldmane is turned to gold by Klaus and thrown into the vat of molten metal. Fornoy is filled with bullets. And that's kind of where we ended it. Although we had a bit of an epilogue where the party is sought out by Captain Heinz, Terzo Heinz, and he is going to take them to Forgehaven, which is well, actually, you don't know what it is. That is where we rejoin the action.
So, what was all the drama with it being underwhelming? Was that the fight with Colburn and Foreman? Was it?
Well, not to get into it now. I mean, I was saying to Daryl, it'd be cool if we did a kind of post-mortem campaign session, maybe the session after we finish, or if we finish like weirdly, like in the middle of a session, we can do that. But it'd be cool if you guys came and had a little discussion about what your thoughts were for the campaign. But I think that ties into it a little bit in the way that the book is trying to be like, we're going to make the players like agonize over these choices, and there's no right answer and all this sort of stuff. And for typical PCs, there very much is a right choice and a wrong choice, and there's no real downside to taking the choice that makes most sense. So yeah, it's interesting. Milo tactical sip. So yes.
It helps me strategize.
So, oops, I've accidentally opened EA Play. Go away. Don't need.
With that Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Old game. My brain's on my sheet today.
Well, there's not going to be a thinker really for this session, so.
It might be.
So you are following Terzo Heinz down the streets of Greywater, and the sounds of the cannons firing, of greycaps running towards the walls, of civilians taking cover, and merchants hastily packing up their stuff, clearing the streets as greycaps order them away and set up barricades along the spokes of the city. You follow Heights down several alleyways behind different factories, and you are getting closer to kind of the outside of the inner circle wall. So there's the inner circle, but you're kind of on the outsides of it.
Driving the Dark Angels.
That's right.
Side of the inner circle.
Yeah. The fallen, but also the risen, but in the outer circle. Yeah. He leads you to eventually what looks like a dead end and some sort of abandoned shed. And he gives you all a metal key. And Klaus, as you take your key, you feel a kind of strange magnetism from it, as your arcana sense detects the magic within this key. And he takes one that he has that's hanging around his neck, and he looks at you all and says, "Don't lose these." And then he puts the key into the wall of the back of the shed, and you wouldn't have seen the keyhole unless you were really looking for it. Turns it, doors part, and what is inside is like a mining shaft lift, wide enough for the party to fit inside. And as you go inside, the lift, he pulls the lever, and the lift starts to descend through the earth at quite a rapid pace. And as you descend, Heinz explains to you what is Forgehaven. And essentially, it is a bunker for the wealthiest of Greywater that they built in case of natural disasters, sieges, calamities, in case they were ever overrun by enemy forces. And Ondran has decided to set this up as his base of operations. And what is useful about Forgehaven is that it has many tunnels, thanks to old mining shafts, that go to exits throughout the city. And it also has, well, actually, you'll see. Ew. So you reach the bottom of the lift, you exit. Heinz invites you to get inside several mining carts. You go along the tracks, and eventually you reach a gateway guarded by some soldiers. As you go inside, you go down several corridors where you go past Ironweld Arsenal guards and the odd sullen-looking Steam Lord or council member who is at sort of a wit's end as to what to do during a siege. And you finally reach the central chamber, which is completely busy with people running back and forth, shouting out reports, kind of like a ship's bridge almost in its busyness. You see ornate cogwork periscopes reaching out from the ceiling at several desks. You can see Ironweld assistants looking at them, scanning, making notes, drawing maps. And then on the table in the middle, it's a big ornate map of Greywater, and several people are moving stuff around as they receive information. And in the middle, you see Ondran hunched over this map.
I have two questions.
Go on.
One, if I missed something, I have The Sylvaneth all we're like Doom's Door. Some of them marching at the doors. It feels like things are ramped up quite dramatically, and I missed that.
I mean, whilst you were doing the last stuff, the city was preparing to defend itself, and yes, the city is fully under siege now. The Sylvaneth are outside the gates.
And have we picked a side, or are we just following whoever leads us to the nearest mission marker?
Well, I mean, if you were joining the Sylvaneth, you'd probably have to start killing people where you are.
We're not anti the Sylvaneth, right? We were anti the dudes who called the Grey Caps.
Yes, so you feel like you've removed the corrupted leadership. So this is essentially what is left of Greywater's leadership, who are all essentially following Onderan now.
Right. But we've not made many great strides to like smooth over the friction. Just I guess
No.
Okay. Was that intentional, or just we've not been able to get a vibe of the party's, wants and wishes?
I feel like we've done our best.
Okay.
On the whole.
I feel like Mike, you feel like a manager who's come back from holiday, been like, so let me get this straight.
You missed last week, right, Mikey? But you were here for the what do you call it, the campaign.
Right? We've been on our main mission has been trying to stop the whole point was trying to stop the grey. I assume once the grey cap was the bad grey cap's done, we could just get them to talk and go, all right, stop it.
I think the situation we found ourselves in was that it's the city's already under siege and it might be a bit late for saying, don't worry, guys.
So then, just asking the party then, so what is our current expected outcome from all this? Is it to kill the Sylvaneth, just defend the city, to create peace? What was our actual goal? Yeah.
Delay.
Delay. Like that. Cool. See if cooler heads can prevail.
Wait for Gandalf to come first light on the 5th day.
Yeah. I think Vargi's the same, right? He has no desire to be a soldier in cities. But if he had to pick a side, he'd probably pick the side of the defenders, but rather not see unnecessary.
I'm just trying to get the vibe
loss of labour.
Trying to get the vibe as we come into this conversation, or I don't want to be a wedge. You know me. I like to be smooth. I don't like to cause friction. Oh,
it's not with you something of a wedge.
Thank you.
There is a important
potato wedge.
Yeah, delicious, and nutritious.
Well,
yeah, crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside.
So question 2. I cast Sense Ergol.
Sometimes a bit too salty.
This is how fan fictions start, guys.
Yeah, we can't have a love triangle, or can we?
Between us and a potato wedge.
Yes, and a beef sandwich.
All right, that's all my questions answered. Apart from the Sense Ergol. It seemed like we're underground, so I felt it might be, in the.
There might be veins of Ergold.
That's what I'm feeling.
The greedy fire slayer's probably already been and gone, nicked it all.
Where is he? I'll kill him.
Also, sequestered off to one side, surrounded by Limeworld guards, is your old pal Gougethorn.
Oh yeah.
Who grins.
You lazy fuck! What have you been doing?
Who grins his creepy grin at you and does his weird marionette head tilt, I imagine.
I don't know why I found that so affecting.
Yeah.
Not here when we want him here, but he's here when we need him.
Yeah, there you go.
He's Gandalf.
It's like
Yeah, he's like parallel universe
God's Lord is never late. He's only here when he's meant to be here. Whatever they call that.
Only meant to be here when he's here and all that lot. The Samwise Gamgee version.
That's it.
So before you can say anything to Gougethorn, Onderan greets you quickly and then steps into the center of the room, almost as if he was waiting for you to arrive before addressing the room. And he says, "Heroes, warriors, soldiers, I have gathered you here today so we may save as much of the city as we can. This is far worse than the Ratmen's most recent attempt. By our estimation of the Sylvaneth forces, the walls will not hold. The very forests of Gairan rise up against us. What's left of the Grand Conclave and Council of the Forge is in this room. We've ordered everyone to sequester themselves. Everything's shut down. All citizens are to take cover, unless there is a gun to man." "Sir," an officer interrupts Onderan's speech, "something's happening at the Great Axle." Onderan pushes past and grabs the periscope. His brows rise above the viewfinder, and an awe-filled Dwarden profanity passes his lips. You feel Forgehaven shake, the sound of ringing bells and screams reaching down through miles of rock and tunnels from the surface above. Onderan sees reality tearing apart at the seams as a skaven gnaw-hole claws through the firmament, disgorging ratmen and their mechanical monstrosities into the heart of the city.
Lovely.
What? Wait. Are we the heart of the city?
No, periscope. Periscope.
Right. Got up through the fucking rocks.
Up periscope, yeah.
A big periscope.
Yeah.
You're a big periscope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's one word the most critical word in that was probably periscope. It's like the foundation of the whole concept of what has happened.
Whatever you said about rat fetish blom hole, and that kind of threw off the word periscope for me.
I am.
A gnaw
I don't know
hole.
why I'm surprised that this situation could have gotten worse, but I
am. Hence why this chapter is called The Night of 1,000 Fangs. So, the way this works is you are going to go through several time periods, starting with dusk. And each time period will have 3 threats that emerge simultaneously that need addressing. You will only have time to address 2 if you all stick together. But you can split up. You can request aid from your allies. But it'll be up to you to decide what is worth your attention, what isn't. Hence the BioWare reference I made 2 days ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I see it. I see it. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see.
I had another important question to ask
God, I
earlier.
hope more didn't exist this time.
I thought I heard mention of XP from the last session.
You weren't even here in the last session.
Well, I still get the XP, right?
I'd forgotten about XP actually, because I was sort of just like rolling from thing into thing. There's not been even think about spending it. Well, yeah.
Right. Well, as long as everyone else has been.
I'll plan some XP spending during one of Mikey's turns.
Great. How much was it?
I don't know. You tell me.
5 minutes. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I believe you got the full 4.
The full.
The full 4.
Yes.
How much do you get for a short
The
term
big
goal?
rack.
1 for a short term.
Yeah.
Sorry. The rail of the drama.
Yes.
Rested on the ungiven. 3 challenges per day and time of the day. We can only do 2 if we stick together.
So there'll be 3 threats. Each player will be able to do 2 each.
Cool.
So either you could all stick together, you could split the party, but depending on the threat, you probably don't want to split the party, or one of you can go with allies, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the adventure wants me to essentially introduce each threat and then let you decide. It doesn't say.
Before you do so, is Alex's character with us, or are we not counting him?
Yeah, you can count him if you want.
Okay.
To be fair, you could send him to do stuff. That might be a good way of using him.
Yeah, not really sending, but seeing like how we can split up if we decide to split up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll treat him as a arrow bot.
Okay.
I think he did like 7 damage a turn.
Oh,
Pretty
nice.
reliably
Oh,
about 12 times in a row, so we can just call it that.
guys don't need Gougethorn anymore, clearly.
Well,
he's a long range, isn't he? He blows
yeah.
up, so it's...
Yeah. Right. So, well, maybe now's a good time for you guys to chat to Gougy, or Gougy wanna maybe Onderan sort of Onderan signals to him and says, "We found this one lurking about the streets, sneaking around. He told us that he was an ally of yours and he was looking for you. Is that true?"
It's very true, I think. We missed this big pile of sticks we have. Oh, Gougy, how are you doing? What do you think of a time like this, eh? Crazy.
And Gougethorn just looks at you like as if he stares into your eyes, and all you hear is just like growling whispers of chaos. That's it.
I think he's missed us too. I think.
I think ally is probably quite a strong term, but I suppose we are of a similar purpose. So, what's just below ally? I guess we'll just have to go with ally. Nice to see you again, Gougy. You leave my attendants alone, will you?
Promises.
Well, Edwardin's promise is his honour, and I can only assume it is the same for bloodthirsty little G-men. So, I feel safe and sound.
Good to see you, scary bastard you.
Turned anything into cold recently?
Yes. Our friend Goldmane. At Grizzly End.
So nothing's changed with you then.
Well, not all really. But the same.
Are you also ally?
Who was that?
Ally.
Who was that to?
Klaus.
Oh.
Ally. Everyone's ally, Gougethorn.
I've even been starting to think of you as a friend, but if you want to downgrade us back down to ally, I guess that's alright too.
You don't get a response for that. Alright, OP, what are the threats that we have to kill? Or, hopefully kill.
All right. So, as you talk, an Ironworld officer urgently calls Captain Heinz to inspect the view from a periscope. He sees what has just emerged from the Gnaw hole. You hear him smack his forehead as he says, "That is the Harbinger. That's my bloody Cogfort. What have the rat men done to her?" As you take turns to look through the periscope, you see the Cogfort that brought you to this realm, except modified by the Skaven themselves.
Wait, sorry, are we all looking at the periscope as well?
As I said, as you take turns to look through the periscope.
What's going on today? What's happening?
Just, you know what it is that? If you can not say if you could not say the word Norhole again, great. I think it throws me off every time you say it.
Norhole.
Yeah.
It's like a narwhal.
Yeah. It's
Really hard to say. Yes, you see this. You see the Cogfort tearing through buildings, letting off volleys from a massive lightning cannon, and warping the surrounding area with the screaming bell mounted to the top deck. Heinz pleads with the party to intervene before the Cogfort wreaks any further death and destruction upon the city. So, quite a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I've got a picture I can share of it. Actually, so you see it.
Oh,
Screaming.
What?
Warp lightning cannon. Holy shit.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not a scream. Wait, did you say it was a screaming bell, or it's just some other kind of bell?
that is incredible.
The bell on top, screaming bell. Yeah.
I had a screaming bell model. It was very different.
So, our Cogfort that went missing right at the start.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's been made into.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's like the Urgold attached to it, right?
That was what you.
Right.
That's what you thought, to what you.
Why
What
would it?
thought?
Or
There was
maybe-
Urgold in it.
Maybe
when we wrote it.
maybe I admitted that before I did my 6 hours of research into what Urgold is, how to get Urgold, and what it's used for, and all the rest of it.
Wow. I'm getting Urgold.
But if you, yeah, I think Heinz would be a bit disappointed if you pillaged it yourself after stopping the Skaven.
If he's disappointed, then he doesn't know me very well.
That is true. Yes, I definitely missed this last session. The Urgold and Hurricane hijinks.
That's it.
Threat number 2. An Ironworld officer watching the city turns away from her periscope, stricken with horror, face dripping with sweat. Ondran goes over to help. She explains to him she's been following the trail of a chaos beast and just watched it tear a soldier clean in half, devour their head whole, and disappear back into the workways. You believe this monster is a dreaded Gorgoroth. Ondran urges the party to hunt the Gorgoroth down, believing few of the Ironworld or Greycap forces have the stomach to face such a monster and live.
I want to get a little cocky about it, but I wouldn't mind getting a third Gorgoroth on the list.
Yeah.
I don't trust Lawrie.
It'd be the third Gorgoroth.
Third got off. They do not normally come in
No.
threes. And then the third threat. No, I love it when Daryl reads into things, so I can be all mysterious. Oh. The third threat, an Ironworld officer calls for Ondran's attention and relays a set of coordinates to him. He reaches for his personal periscope and dials in the viewpoint coordinates.
Periscope, Mikey.
Periscope.
We go.
Okay, cool.
He's looking through a periscope. I see them. Keep your eyes on them, Lieutenant. He calls you over to see for yourselves, showing you a Sylvaneth skulking through the outer circle's allies. Sorry, I'll say again. A Sylvaneth is skulking through the outer circle's alleys, being led by a robed member of the Cherished Weald. They must be heading towards their damned garden. Ondran urges the party to investigate and find out what's going on. He knows that if the Sylvaneth have access to the outer circle, then that whole sector of the city may already be lost.
I don't want to be a pedant here, Ondran, but You have, I believe, urged us to deal with all of these threats. You must surely know we can't deal with all of them.
Well, it's Heinz who was urging you to
Ah,
take on the Cogfort.
fine.
I don't know what's happening.
He says,
Anyway, for what it's worth, I think that Cogfort is a huge threat. Being that it's, I don't know, a tank on legs with a cannon on the front. I mean, you don't have to be a weaponsmith or engineer to identify that one.
he says, I know you cannot be everywhere at once, but you have my authority to organize your allies or Captain Heinz here to be able to deal with the threats on your behalf. I don't know who else likes you in this city, but maybe you've made a friend or two who you haven't killed already.
Vargi just snorts.
Don't you know there's only good or bad people in this city?
I believe I'm probably something of a local legend around the Dwarven around here now. I can't speak for the others, but I think I've got some allies.
Do you?
Or at least not enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think I'm gonna try to make allies? Who would hate me anyway? So we're 4 plus Alex. What's his name? I always forget his character's name.
Dreadbark.
Dreadbark, yeah. So we're 4 plus Dreadbark.
Also, Gougethorn, when you look through the periscope at this Sylvaneth and the cherished Wield member, you do recognize Oath Speaker.
Oh.
So you can share your intel or not, maybe. But perhaps you would be interested in... Maybe, I don't know if you would be more interested in solving that threat or not. Or you're like, fuck it, whatever.
No, definitely not fucking whatever, especially after what he was told. But given what he was told, if I had to talk about Gougethorn himself and what he would do, he would go for the second one, the core growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a direct chaos threat. I know the Skaven are as well, but like that's there. But this will be interesting. I don't think you know this, guys. But Oak Speaker has been invited to go to some sort of negotiation inside the Outer Circle. So that's why she's currently heading there.
And that's how Gougethorn got into the city as well.
I got into the city because I met up with her. Sorry. And I was invited to go back in, and then I was held here until they decide what to do with me. So there's going to be a negotiation held there. So maybe if someone's good at negotiating the silver tongue, that would be a good idea to go there.
None of us are really faces, are they? We're all clumsy.
Nice.
Dreadbark.
I don't know if you were paying attention as I sweet talked my way into a garrison of cornate grey cap bastards, and we nearly got out of it alive. If it wasn't for you, I'm nuts.
Right.
And he just grumbles and walks off as he's reminded how his perfect plan was ruined.
You could always
The captain.
You could always send Dreadbark off to do one of his Book of Many Speeches.
Yeah, but I feel like actually like having an active character take part in that would be interesting, first of all, and also kind of important. I think it's important for an active character to be in all 3 scenarios. The thing is, who's going where? So Gougethorn is interested in the Korgoroth.
So also, if you send an ally, which will include as
We
Dreadbark,
can include Dreadbark as an ally at this point.
there will be a single test that they make,
Hmm?
and then there is a table based on how many successes they have to say how or the outcome basically of the threat.
Right. But if an active character goes, then it plays out manually, right? Or is it still the same thing?
I mean, if it's Dreadbark, then we'll just treat him like a NPC.
Yeah, but if it's one of us, I'm saying.
Yeah, then you'll do do the battle manually.
Yeah, so no. My opinion is that there definitely needs to be an active character. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We want to. It's not that fun as NPCs. Going for us.
More fun that way as well.
So the question remains: how are we going to get split up? There's 4 of us. There are 3 threats.
I feel like
Once again, I just want to bring your attention to the rampaging, lightning, steam tanks, cogfort, and how, I don't know, like, I'm pretty good with this little pea shooter here, but I'm just not sure that I can take down a bloody cogfort on my own.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the Sylvaneth aren't that big a threat. Let's sort out these Skavens. They look a bit scary.
So Sichuan, Vargi.
We can handle 2
The
threats
cogfort.
directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm just going to suggest we don't plan around immediately splitting up the party to try and deal with all threats. When there is a system in place for us to send allies to deal with some of them.
What was the third threat? We had sneaky.
Gorgonoth.
Cogfort, the Korgoroth, and the
Sylvaneth.
meeting. Yeah.
I reckon Dreadbark could probably take down one of those on his own.
Well, yeah. Okay, so Dreadbark. So the only one left, right, is the Sylvaneth one, the outer circle. So is Dreadbark going there by himself? Klaus, what are you doing?
I'll just I was originally going to say that maybe we should have myself and one of the more damagey folk, and then Sichuan and one of the other more damagey. Split up the utility a bit more.
Yeah.
This cogfort does seem to be quite the threat, quite prominent.
Let's go
It's
cogfort.
definitely a siege weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
So the 3 of you for the Cogfort. Gougethorn is going.
Yeah. I think we need to melt it. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Sorry, I thought you were done. So Gougethorn for the Korgoroth, 3 of you for the Cogfort, and Dreadbark for the Sylvaneth outer circle.
Well, I think we don't want to. I mean, I'm a bit confused. We don't want to split the party up, but also we kind of need to. But let's not go too crazy. Surely, we can all focus on one, and then maybe if there's a slightly less important threat, we can do that. I just feel like we should all go for this cogfort.
Yeah, if we don't split up, Ollie, you said we can handle 2 threats, right?
Yeah.
So that means that we can do 1 altogether and then split up for the other 2.
Correct.
Okay, then all for the Cogfort then.
Yeah, I think as characters you would know that the cogfort is all hands on deck, not part of the pun.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones are kind of fiddly bits that probably don't require the whole party.
Yeah. I think Vargi made himself quite bloody clear on this matter.
I'm just trying to reason things
grumble,
out.
Grumble.
Gougethorn is there with a bloody Excel sheet going. It's a cogfort!
But Vargi, you have a high intelligence, right? Poor Gougethorn has to count on his thorns.
I've got 1 mind, so give me a break.
Yeah. Whatever is the more revengey thing. All right. I've been looking forward to this.
I bet you.
That does not inspire confidence.
Kill someone with.
Yeah, the lightning cannon shoots you in the face. Right, let's find some battle music.
Well, I would never bring you back only to kill you, Daryl.
You sure about that?
As the only player who does die, I feel like you serve a useful purpose. generating drama for my campaigns. Right. Is that the right kind of... Okay, right. So, you run towards... Oh, and by the way, a person can sit out a threat, and it will allow them to rest, and they can recover a wound and their toughness.
Nice.
So you make your way to the right exit that will get you as close to the cogfort as possible. You go down through the mining tunnels and up the left. And before you know it, you are standing in the street with the cogfort and a horde of chittering Skaven barreling down towards you. Now you know the layout of the cogfort. You've been there before. You've been on it. You know that it has 4 decks: the observation deck, the gun deck, the blur deck, and the engineering deck.
What?
Gun deck, the crew deck, and the engineering deck. What do you do?
Is it we're currently like I can see as well sneaking up on it. Sounds like is it just barreling around? Does it come to a stop and it's like attacking a wall? Is it
constantly clanking onwards? You will be able to climb up it with athletics.
Ooh.
So I've got 4 extra XP. I'm gonna spend them on athletics because I need them.
I'm gonna spend them on wings.
And weird stuff to my audio.
I actually do have 4 extra XP, and I genuinely am thinking of spending them on athletics right now.
Yes, I spent all my points on athletics.
I don't think you should spend XP mid-session.
I know, I'm joking, Ollie, you know.
Why not?
You've been gone a long time, Daryl. You're like the complete yin to Mikey's yang. That's exactly what he would do.
I'm just missing
It's
something.
like, tell me the rule where it says I can't.
Ooh, actually, please.
I
have to athletics. No, I don't. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so we have to make an athletics test. All jokes aside, what's the actual test? Or do we not know until we actually do it?
Maybe I probably can't tell you unless you do it, but I would say that you don't think it would be that complicated. There are plenty of handholds and things on the outside of the cogfort.
Okay. Do we have an initiative for this, or do we just decide what we want to do?
Yeah, I'd like to know what you guys are doing, because obviously if you are outside the cogfort, it'll be quite different day for you.
Okay.
Vargi will be attempting to get into the cogfort.
Mm-hmm.
With the goal of finding a way to save it.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
you know from being on the cogfort that the there's the big engine in the middle, which is how the Skaven stopped you in the first place, was disabling the engine. You imagine there's some warpstone engine or something in there that needs to be disabled. Alternatively, you can get onto the bridge on the gun deck as well, which is where the controls are.
Yeah, Gougethorn will also want to try to bust in, basically. I'm not sure if gun deck or the engineering deck would be a smarter choice, but I'll decide that later.
Which levels are the decks on?
There's observation at the top, which is the open one. Gun deck below, with the firing holes and the bridge at the front. Then you've got the crew deck, which is where you can see the lightning cannon is jutting out the front. and then the engineering deck at the bottom. And you can see on the outside there are kind of hatches. They're kind of emergency hatches or sort of maintenance access hatches, but you have no idea if they're sealed up or not.
Oh, okay, that changes.
Right, well, I say shortest route to the engines. If you know how to fix it, you probably know how to make.
Fair point.
Oh, the observation deck as well has the screaming bell on top as well.
What is that?
The screaming bell. It's like a I don't know. Skaven players can probably explain it better, but it's a big
Well, I was
bell.
just a gaming player when I was 9 years old. I don't know much about it at all.
Okay, I'll just look it up.
Definitely created some kind of like buff around people who could hear it.
Yeah, it's great for Skaven, terrible for non-Skaven.
You know, plonk it in the middle and it would just be protected. It would just do all kinds of buffs
Yeah.
and crazy shit.
How does it work in Total War, Lawrie? You probably know.
Sorry?
What does a screaming bell do in Total War?
It just blows the leadership, I think, of your troops, of enemy troops around it.
There you go then.
Oh yeah,
So it reduces the
deafening.
morale. It's just
Yeah.
terrifying.
the
Unnerving
deafening.
to hit, right?
Yeah, something like that. Actually, yeah, I just found this blurb. In battle, the ominous tolling of the bell resounds above the clamor of the fighting, a message of death to foes, but a declaration of supremacy to all Skaven. The deafening sound drives the Skaven hordes into a reckless frenzy, hardening their craven hearts, feats of uncommon savagery. The thunderous tolling is magically amplified with each toll, and then grows louder and more terrible, causing the very stones to split and buildings to crumble. To those that are attuned to the horned rat, each toll gives out one single-worded message: doom. Wow. Okay.
Doom.
That was some flavor text.
That's
So Vargi, if you wanted to go directly to the engineering deck, and as probably not a big fan of climbing, you would probably consider either one of the hatches on the crew deck or the rear cargo hatch.
Cargo hat sounds good to Vargi.
Yeah. Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I feel like a hatch would make the most sense, right? Easy way inside.
Was there any enemy like, exposed on the top level, like ringing the bell that we could maybe just take out pretty quick?
Yes, so you see a Grey Seer, which is the kind of the evil wizardy Skaven operating the bell. And you can see kind of like a phalanx of storm vermin protecting him.
I was about to go get it, then you mentioned the phalanx, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, so that's. I think I go for that hatch as well. Makes the most sense to me.
Okay.
Disable it. I'll follow the team then, yeah. Disable it and then the men all scattered to come investigate and we can pick them off one by one.
Klaus, what you doing?
I'm not being left by my own. I'm following. Damn it.
Right.
Being gobbled up by Skaven.
Yeah.
What did you want to do? Do you have a different plan?
Me?
Yeah.
Just keep buffing people. Buff y'all. Turn motherfuckers to gold.
Okay.
That's my shtick. That's my bread and butter. I'm not a planner really. I've got Vargi's got the mind for the plan, right? He's got the cunning.
Tried and tested. I haven't got a box for you to go in this time, Klaus.
So, as the cogfort steams towards you, you will get ready to jump up onto its legs like Legolas, and climb up towards the cargo hatch at the back. Please roll me 5-1 athletics tests.
Ew.
Yay.
Oh, he did.
There is a chance he might be left alone, Klaus.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to be left alone.
All right.
So Klaus is trampled and killed. No, it's all right. So you all. So unfortunately, Klaus, you don't manage to climb up. Perhaps one of the legs that swings you off, and you fall to the ground. You will be able to try again. But now you must make a 4-2 reflexes test to avoid damage from the cogfort.
This is how Klaus dies after getting so far. 4-2.
Yes.
Body ain't great.
Oh.
No, so you do take 3 damage. As you kind of get knocked about by the legs, and kind of the stone bricks flying everywhere. The detritus. All right. So the rest of you managed to climb your way to the back, where the cargo hatch is, and this is where obviously cargo is loaded into the cogfort. So it's quite a large hatch, but the Skaven have sneakily welded most of it shut, so you will need to deal damage to it to break it open. So you will all get to take a chance at doing some damage.
Is it just a metal hatch?
Yeah.
Is it magical?
No.
My Discord's been so weird. You guys, over time, suddenly everyone just starts acting as if you're all falling down a tunnel. It's really weird. I have to keep disconnecting. But there we go. Yeah, it's suddenly you guys go, we're fine, and everyone just suddenly sounds like they just moved away from their microphones. Anyway, yeah, because I have my ability to melt metal. I'm wondering how that's going to factor in.
I think to melt a whole hatch probably melt a hole big enough for you all to fit through, especially Dreadbark. I'll say it's 1 round to make a Klaus-sized hole as a slender wizard, 2 rounds to do a hench Duardin / Duardin in massive metal armor hole, and Gougethorn. Gougethorn probably you could slip through in the first round, and then 3 rounds for a Dreadbark, big boy hole.
Cool. I'm just trying to. How does that factor into the ability to melt a section of a ship's hull?
No, I'm just saying if you can just start melting it, but it will just take time.
Oh, it says here, with the spell, and you're doing it, you can, if you use metal, you can do extra damage. Can I also chuck some damage on there with an extra metal? Help speed it up?
Yes.
Because the spell is you can heat it up with metal to melt it, but if you choose to use extra metal, you can deal damage equal to your soul.
Hmm.
So that could help if I just metal. Okay, let's just get started. It's fine. You know, I've got some questions.
Yeah, I think it's kind of all in the same thing.
Okay. Well, I touch my hand to the metal and start melting it the best I can.
All right. Anyone else? What are you doing? Waiting,
So
helping?
yeah, I was going to ask, so are we all centered around this one particular hatch, or are we all at different hatches that we found on Red Cross? Because if we're all at different ones, then I'm going to start hitting and tearing at it to try and get in. But if we're all centered around the same one, then just guarding Sichuan.
So from my understanding, you're all heading towards this same hatch?
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Okay. So yeah, you can wait for the hole, but after one round, the hole is big enough, Gougethorn, for you to slip into.
Yeah. So just wait. It's one round. It's
yeah.
I can't do anything meaningful in one round.
Cool.
Vargi thinks it's probably ill-advised to rattle off volleys from his volley gun at a metal hatch indoors while Sichuan's got his hands on it, so he'll wait.
Mandy blasters. Pew pew.
He could get in there and pew pew with his mouth, but he probably won't.
All right, so the round passes. Klaus, do you want to have another go at this?
Yeah, best, so I don't get crushed by the legs of the cogfoot, right? Again.
Yeah.
Kind of painful when that happens. 5-1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You get up, start running after the cogfort.
Nice.
Quite bruised and injured, don't mind.
I like to think you use your powers to turn the handholds into don't know, nicer handholds.
More ornate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Something like that. All right. So after that round, Gougethorn, you're able to jump in.
As is Klaus, right? He's with us now.
And Klaus, yeah, you can just hop straight in, head first.
Hell yeah.
Exactly what I'll do.
And let me just go to my. I can. Oh god. I actually got a map of 4 decks this time, after complaints when I just did some squares last time. So.
Hey, I wasn't here, so I don't complain.
No, this was the first time you fought in this cogfort, and I thought Theatre of the Mind was going to be fine. But it wasn't for the picky bastards. Right.
Who complained?
So I've fogged the rest of the decks, but if you go to the bottom right,
Welcome to the Fog Fort.
the fog fort, yes.
Very cool. Wow.
So Gougethorn, as you enter, you almost crash into this room full of skaven junk and scrap metal, and you actually take a point of damage from all this stuff.
Ignore environmental.
No, it's a hazard.
Oh.
And Klaus as well. You also actually you pile in as well. And ahead of you, you remember that the engine is. So this is like a cargo room. You have like a general engineering room where you have all the instruments and things, and then at the back, the other side, you have the warpstone core. Is.
So.
And those of you who are still outside the cogfort, please roll me another athletics test to keep holding on.
Everyone, pile in.
The slow realization.
Ah. Alright. It'll be fine.
Oh wait, that's all of us, is it? I thought we were already in, but now I realise we are.
No, it's
Yes,
just
that's
Klaus and
what
I.
I was. Yes.
There we go. We've been had, guys.
Wow. All right.
I won't be beaten
Nice.
by a foot.
Okay.
All right, nice. So Gougethorn and Klaus, what do you do while the hole's being made bigger?
So I'm not really one for stealth. And my okay, good, thank you. Go ahead. So my main goal is just to try to tear through anything in the way to get to the back to stop this from rampaging.
All right. So you're telling me you're going into the next room?
Cast Mystic Shield on myself and Gougethorn.
Okay. As Gougethorn runs off into the engine room.
Just knowing how Gougethorn is, I preemptively cast a shield on him.
Yeah.
He's
That
out
makes
for
sense.
blood. He's got the red mist.
That makes sense.
So you run forward, yeah, Gougethorn?
Yes.
Hachi! Ah! So you run into the operating room, engine room, and you find 8 Skaven Warlock engineers all tending to these machines, and one of them yelps, "Chi-chi!" and they all, hands on levers, all turn to you, and you see their glowing red eyes staring at you with hatred.
And they just keep on working?
A bloodbath.
Huh?
They just keep on working.
Oh yeah, they totally just keep on flipping them burgers. No, they don't. They all turn and attack you. Right.
All right. This should be fun.
So actually, to be fair, let me double check their initiative. You might get to go first. What's your initiative?
My initiative is 3.
Their initiative 5.
Okay. Let's go.
See what a battle's like without the Duard initiative. This is gonna be interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna roll 2d4 to see how many actually feel they can leave their controls of the rampaging cogfort. Straight down the middle, it's half. Great.
Fair enough.
The dice have spoken. So 4 of them are going to throw warp lightning at you.
Okay.
So I need to do 5. So 4, 5 twos. 1, 2,
Damn.
3,
Look, engineers are kind of scary, aren't they?
4. Right, so it is I don't think they get extra damage, so it's just what's your oh no, so this is ignoring armor. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. And once per turn, they have an ability called More, where they add the current doom to their damage, which is 3 currently. So, how much toughness do you have?
8.
Okay, so 4, So the first two, Milo's cringing so hard. This is so antithetical to how Milo plays RPGs. So the first one is 4 damage. The second one is 7 damage. So that's 3 over. So that is a medium wound, or whatever you call it. The second one is 5 damage. That's a deadly wound. And the fourth one is 5 damage. Another deadly wound. There's 2 deadly wounds and a major wound.
So with the second deadly wound, I'm already over my limit.
Okay, so you're mortally wounded now. And that was half of the engineer. This isn't even. I didn't even buff this. This is actually what's in the book. So well done,
you know
book.
What to expect, guys.
They don't know what to expect. They're outside the confront.
This is just that I'm laughing because it's just the most fucking Daryl thing that could ever have fucking happened.
He's back. He's back, boys.
He's back with a vengeance.
He's back.
Is
and
he
then
gonna
got
get
just
a
as quick.
third character still in this campaign? Find out more in about 3 minutes.
Um,
Can I ask a stupid question? Why
yeah,
aren't we all on this map?
because you're on the
You haven't
outside.
entered yet.
How's he on the inside?
Are you with us?
I told him my brain was very foggy. I thought we were still melting the door.
Yeah, but I said after round 1, Klaus and Gougethorn are small enough to get through.
So we're still right to get it. I'm still widening the
Yes, but you will be able to get in at the end of this round.
groovy.
Well, at the beginning of next round. Klaus, what do you do as you see all this warp lightning blast out of this doorway?
Probably expectedly gonna wait for my backup.
Yeah.
Gougethorn, who's only just returned to us, and I know him to be a murderous, tree revenant.
Mm-hmm.
Probably handle himself to some degree.
Yeah. Some degree, yes.
Whereas I rely on having a group to keep me alive.
Mm.
Gave him a shield. I've done all I can, honestly. How far would you say that is? I can...
It's one zone, so Gashon, you still get a turn this turn though, so all hope is not lost.
No.
You can still attack when you're mortally wounded, I believe.
Well, that medic talent would have been helpful, wouldn't it?
Can it kill 8 warlock engineers?
No. I'm gonna see if I can just chuck some arcade bolts down the corridor.
Do it, fam.
The first warlock engineer I can see. Suppressing fire. Another. Ooh.
Alright, so how much damage?
The first one's 4. And the second one is 3.
Nice. 4
I believe.
and 3. Cool. So you blast the warlock engineer. You can see some of it like blasts into its metal bits and bobs and kind of coruscates around the outside, but it does electrocute him as well. But its armor saves it.
No. Oh, close.
Gougethorn.
I mean, the best to just attack the one in front of me, to be honest.
So, because you are mortally wounded, you are stunned, which means you can only move or attack. You can't actually get in the zone and attack. There is a lot of shit in this room, though, if you wanted to take cover.
Yeah, that would make him.
Cool. Okay. So at the start of the next round, Sichuan, your hole is grown in such size that your Nor hole has grown, so that now yourself and Vargi can get through.
Since I've gone past the wound limit and I'm mortally wounded, should I start rolling death checks?
Oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
I'm used to it by now.
So the thing that took you over the edge was the deadly wound, right? So
Yep.
it's a 4-3. So we never get to do these. Right. So next one is a 5-3, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay then.
So it's is it possible to help a dying person again? I can't remember.
Yeah, you did last time.
That's stabilized, right?
Let me just double check how much soulfire you have. The big one.
No, we didn't use soulfire last time. Someone stabilized and stopped the death checks. I forgot how.
It's possible.
I do have points in medicine.
Yeah, you can do a medicine check, and
I've never used my medicine check before. Here we are.
an ally within close range of you could use an action on their turn to make a medicine test to stabilize you. The DN of the test is equal to the DN of the death test.
Possible but challenging.
I've got 1 training and 1 focus in it, and my mind is 4.
That's actually very good.
4-3.
Fair, but sounds ripe for a soulfire, if you ask me.
I'll concur. Can't let Daryl's second character die now, can we?
I mean, as much as it would be fucking funny, no.
Yeah, he would love it.
And he's just come back to us.
Yeah.
He's like the prodigal son.
So incredibly ignoble. This death would be. We simply can't let him go out like this. It needs to be a little bit more heroic.
And he's died swinging from the bell atop the cogfort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or cowering, hiding under a gantry.
No, he wasn't cowering. He was like, what was he? He was like General Grievousing along the box, wasn't he? And then he got fucked up.
Yeah.
General Grievous.
Yeah.
I love how we all knew what that is. Like,
We're a very descriptive, person there.
Yeah, he was. He was all fours along the gangway. Right. So new round. Vargi and Sichuan kind of piling through this Skaven scrap. You see Gougethorn smoking as he lies against some crates, and you see the glinting red eyes of the and the bright warpstone lights of the engineering room.
Nice. They're just 2 zones.
So you've got this zone, you're in the cargo room, you've got the engineering room, and then you've got the where the core is, the engine core is at the back.
He's asked to go first.
Yes, initiative 6. Somehow.
That'd be really boring.
And
Move up here and to protect Gougethorn, I'll erupt a hurricane around him to protect him. Not because I just like doing it. I think that's legit. I'm up for it.
Do it.
Done it. And as it is so. Well, I'll run in there. So, metal to do that. And then I'll use my last metal or action to stabilize Gougethorn.
You have to do a medicine test.
Oh.
That'll be a 4-3.
Oh.
Actually, a 5-3 now, because...
One turn has already passed.
That is implied. I've got 2 minds, so it's impossible. Okay. Well, the hurricane is active. I will then quite simply. Who's going to be doing the healing then? I'm trying to think who's going to be kind of like limited next time.
I think Klaus is the best mind in medicine.
I'm the learned scholar.
Okay, so it's fine. So he's so I'll put a buff in place then, just because So they're held in place. We're probably going to be shooting in there. So I will go for a lovely. Thingamabob. It's been so long since I've done it. The saga of enmity.
The saga of enmity.
You decry the story. Basically, we've been playing so long now. My sagas are actually about this campaign now. So I'm telling the story of when we first met the confront in the first place. That is the epic battle I'm crying and getting everyone all excited by. So yes, it does say so. It is a recount the tale of a victory over a seemingly insurmountable foe. So that applies.
The last time ye Skaven were in this cockpit.
The tales of gold.
Right, Davy Jones.
Yes.
You must start believing in cockports with Kurnoth. You're in one.
Everyone's on echo me again. Ooh.
It's fine, we're just doing a bit.
That happens. That +1 melee and accuracy, as is standard.
As is standard.
My turn.
Alright. Vargs.
Let me draw.
Right, dirty rat bastards! I'm coming for ya! Counts. Moves up to the next zone and prepares to hose down some dirty rat bastards.
Dirty rat bastards.
So he fires his athematic volley gun right at this guy and assume that Sichuan has, ducked off to a side or something, or got magic bullets to go around him or something like that.
Yeah, he wanted that shit.
Sorry, Mike.
Does that say that we've got?
You're drawing on the other deck, but you can't see it.
I know exactly. It's annoying me. We've got very small space to work.
Is that plus accuracy we've got there?
That's
accuracy.
Yeah.
Roger. What's the target's defense, please, Oliver?
It is the average. Well, I'd say +1 because you're shooting through all this crap. So good.
Good, you say. Well, with +1 accuracy, Vargi cares not.
From whence the bullet go?
From whence the bullet go? Yes. So he's up to with the +1.
Mm-hmm.
So prepare to die.
Fucking other players.
Not the best roll in the world, but it'll still work out fine. So it's going to be. We'll use focus to get all of those successes +1 armor piercing. So 5 successes with +2 damage. 7 damage, 1 armor piercing, please, on Central Rat Bastard first.
He does die. And then the others will take 4, but not ignoring down armor, right? On the spread. Alas, no. Alright.
Then he lines up a perfect shot on this dirty rat bastard.
Okay. He's probably full cover because of the engine and stuff, so he's on great. Is that 3s? Or are you still on 2?
Still 3s. Sorry, it'll be 3s if he's 2. But well, we're going to roll with it. That's what he said he'd do. That's what he's doing. He wants bullets pinging around all over the place.
This is where we began, with you firing your volley gun down corridors at rats.
As you know, from ashes to ashes, I suppose.
An interesting finale.
Ashes to ashes. This is only the first threat.
That's
9.
the first.
So this one will be. Let's make. So it's going to be 6 damage, but 2 armor piercing.
Okay, it's actually better than before.
Yeah, the way the roll worked, got 1 less total damage, but 1 more armor piercing.
Doesn't kill him though, and
Oh, that's frustrating.
because it halves it down to 6 damage. You say?
Yes.
Okay, so the others do take a pip.
Darn. The plan was to try and kill more than 2. In
I'm going
fact,
to say the
just
plan was to kill them all.
all of them.
Worked out for me
Well,
so
that's
far.
Ultimately, part of the plan, but yeah, that's that'll be it for old Vargs then. Back to taking cover behind the doorway.
Yeah. They're initiative 5, same as Klaus. So Klaus, you do get to go first. Woof indeed.
Actually got choices this turn. Not just buff Vargi, tactician Vargi.
Yeah.
It's they've Gougethorn. We'll let Gougethorn die. I rush to his side, reaching in my satchel, searching for potions, salves, and herbs and whatnot. I begin trying to resuscitate Gougethorn. Probably have some sort of like salve from that I've made from the herbs collected from where the Sylvaneth go and all.
Oh yes.
Yes,
From your
yes,
rambling
all
days with Chardew,
yeah,
when you're an innocent boy.
He gave me a little herb from his like ear or something. He
Yep.
was like, "Keep this. I'll help you later."
Yep. And now he's coming to kill you.
Yeah. Oh, how cruel fate is. What DN am I looking at to roll medicine on the old Gougy?
So it'll be a 5-3, which is the same as his death test.
3. And how does using Soulfire work again?
So Gougethorn, because he's Soulbound, can use the Soulfire point to recover himself and gain half his toughness. Or you can use it to do complete full successes on a test. But it would make no sense for you to waste your action to do that if Gougethorn can do it himself. But you do have 1 left, and you have no way of recovering them now, unless somebody dies.
Right.
You can roll a medicine check anyway, if you wish.
That would be both grim and dark.
Yeah. I mean, 3 5s is possible with, good focus.
Ooh. Not today.
Yeah.
2 5s again.
Close.
What
If
did
you
say to
had 1 more point of focus, you could have. I mean, on 5 dice, statistically, you should have gotten 2.
I can use my metal. Another pop.
You can, yeah. Don't die on my God's thought.
Come on, Gougy. Pull through. God damn it.
Hey.
Yeah,
Huzzah!
good enough.
I do quite say I'm fucking good. God damn.
That would be an excellent time for Darkest Dungeon narrator voice man quote. Something.
I don't have a hopeful one to hand.
Something like I don't know, like
You have escaped the dark doors of death.
yeah,
Oh no.
It's like hours spent in the library.
I'm
Paying
probably
off.
going to have to bring back your Finesse character next time. It's just, dude, man, just got me done.
All right, Gouji, you're back up at your half toughness.
Better than no toughness.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, sorry, no, you're not. That's Hellfire. You just stabilized. So you're still
no toughness.
you're not mortally wounded, but you're at full wounds, 0 toughness.
Okay.
Right, and now it is the time of the Warlock Engineers. And I'm going to do 4 plus D3 this time. Or just a 5 again. So 5 are attacking. And they all kind of take cover in the engine room. Let's see here. So I think the only one they can actually see is going to be Vargi.
Is fortunate.
Everyone else is huddling in the corner with Gouji. He's alive! Lightning everywhere.
That is unfortunate.
So you have 5 warp lightnings.
Oh, I should have. Oh, that's really dumb. I should have used my fucking sagas to reduce spell difficulty. The one fucking time useful.
Honestly, I really thought you were going to put a volcano in there.
I
It
also thought
can't
that
do
he was gonna be
hurricane
bad.
and volcano. Apparently.
Apparently, it's this dumb rule where I can't do everything I want. Right. Oh, there's some.
Well, I'd like to thank you for those rolls.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart.
Actually, I might have
No.
focus.
I'm
Do I have
annoyed now. I
focus?
should have definitely done complexity up for. They don't fucking care about a tornado, do they? They're not shooting shit or trying to get close to us.
Yeah, it's lightning.
Why didn't you stop me?
Oh, well, I can't play your turn for you.
I'm saving your skin. I rushed there.
Yeah, but it's your
Created a
turn.
barrier of hurricanes. I thought it was very heroic. I thought
Okay, so you do actually have
They
1
were just-
point of focus.
the rats were looking at me, going like, "What the fuck's he doing? We don't want to go in there, and we're not shooting anything."
I like that even there's aspects play out.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll do these one at a time. So with the focus, that's 3, 4. And with the more, that's 7 damage.
Oh my god, 7 damage from the first one?
Yeah. Second one, 6.
Hey. Okay.
And then 4.
Okay. Very good. Right. That's a minor wound.
4 is yeah. Has that taken you over then?
Yeah, that one takes me over.
Cool. And then 5 should be a deadly wound,
Sure will be.
and 4, which is a major wound.
Right. Happily, that takes me to my maximum wound.
Yeah.
Not over.
So you're fine.
Feeling pretty great about the talent and the racial trait. Too stubborn to die. 2 extra spaces on the tracker.
Nice.
Yeah. That was. I mean, I think it pretty much came out in the wash, really. In my rolls there, it averaged out.
It came out in the wash in that they were all successes, even though you rolled terribly. Because it all does +3 damage.
Yeah, I mean, that does help. Oh, that was ignoring armor. Did you?
That was all ignoring armor.
Yes.
Of course, that's why I
No,
died.
You didn't say
Oh, well,
that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, no, in that case, of course I'm fucking dying. Because ignoring armor, that was like 20 damage.
Yeah, I was like, how much health and toughness?
Yeah, I could totally believe it. Actually, I was like, okay, yeah, 7. Yeah, he's still up. Okay, 4. Yeah, he's just taken a wound. Okay, yeah, he's just taken two minor wounds.
Oh yeah, no, he's super duper down.
Which
Probably dead already.
no, which we might have to work out which attack.
Oh right,
got
okay.
you to mortally wounded.
Do you want to work it through again?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just move all of this and then we'll get it right. Okay. Hit me with your first dreadful attack. Was it 7?
7.
Okay.
And then 6.
6. That takes me 4 over.
So that's a major wound.
Yeah.
And then 4.
Major.
5. Deadly.
Deadly. That'll be the one.
Okay, so that puts you at 4-3. You get hit again. That puts you at 4-4.
That sure sounds like a test Vargi could pass on 2 dice.
You've got
Well, you have to...
I was going to say you've got something with you've got mind 3, right? But that's still not 4.
Oh right, so it's you pick your highest, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So sorry. What will my test be?
4-4.
4-4.
Which you don't do.
You do it at the start of the next turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our resident expert at being mortally wounded.
Just trying to help. Oh no.
Wow. Okay. That's their turn done. Just Gougethorn then. You're up. You're better than ever.
I mean, I don't think I could do anything else in this situation except for go for them again.
All Gougethorn knows.
It's literally all he knows.
I could just attack them again, I guess.
Actually, wait. They can't see us, right? And now they're going to be patrolling because they want to kill us because they know we're here.
Well, they can move around their zone and see you, I think.
And
they just
we're hunched up below. Behind. Jesus Christ, behind boxes.
You're in full cover, so you get 2 steps defense, but they still will be able to attack you.
Nice.
And spells don't use accuracy or defense. So
there's no point in waiting. Yeah, fuck it. At least I'll protect Vargi. Yep. All right. Let's start this.
the whirlwind.
Okay. So jumping in. I have a bunch of added shit, so let me just read this again.
Wait, sorry, have you just gone through the tornado into the fight?
The tornado is doing nothing. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, well, it was keeping them coming in at least.
Is it keeping them from coming in?
Yes.
I mean, they have to do a soul determination test. You don't know if they could pass them or not, but
they can't.
They're certainly not. They're certainly not going to get more deadly if they move into the same zone.
Want to get lost, I suppose, but yeah, I guess.
Wait, so okay, I'm confused. Should I not go in because the hurricane because it?
I mean, actually, to be fair, they're only going to shoot lightning out anyway. They're not coming.
Yeah,
to us
that's
anyway,
what I thought.
You'd probably You're right.
Okay. I mean, at least if they focus me again, they'll leave Vargi alone so he can get back up. And I'm ambidextrous. Means that I can add 1d6 my total dice and then split the dice. Right, so I have a 1d6. Sorry, I haven't played in a while, so I have to do this
That's all right.
over again. So that's 7.
I forgive you.
And Gougethorn learned you
my-
learned a new trick, didn't you, whilst you were away?
Yes, I did. I can show it to everyone while I read.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, prone. Is that right? That's something I didn't make all prone.
So I can turn people prone if I hit with 6s because I slash at their tendons and they drop to the ground.
That's what we call a bit of synergy.
Okay, I think that's it. So I just add 1d6, which is 7. I'm going to split them 4 and 3 to attack 2 different ones. The reason I'm doing that is because of this.
Yep.
So at least I can try to like shoot them off. Okay. So this is for the first one. Sorry, my melee is currently either great or superb.
It'll be 2s either way.
It'll be 2s either way. Okay, perfect. So that is. Sorry, I'm gonna just roll this so I can read. It's 4 plus 1 damage on one of them, and he has to make a determination test, soul determination test. 4, 5, because he got hit with 5 damage.
4 plus 1?
So the determination is 4.
No, sorry, the
8.
damage?
Damage is success plus 1. So 4 successes plus 1.
Okay. He's nearly dead, and he has to do a determination test.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure these guys don't have determination. Weirdly. So definitely can't pass that.
Perfect. So if he's frightened, till the end of their next turn.
Okay.
And the second guy is gonna get hit with only 3 dice. And that's, well, still hits. And that's 4 damage. And a 4/4 soul determination test, he can't do it, he's frightened.
Okay.
That's the first attack. I use a metal, and I'm going to repeat the same thing with 2 different ones.
Okay, these 2 on your left are like barely standing. So like this one and this one.
But this one's frightened now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to attack him. He's still not going to...
I can't remember what frightened does. Let me just double check. 1 less die for all tests. Can't willingly move close to the source of fear.
What is it, sorry?
Roll 1 less dice for all tests. If it can see you.
So it doesn't really help me that much. Okay, in that case I'll just repeat the same thing on the same people then. But flip the dice. So 3 for the first one, 4 for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 damage. On the first one, the one on my left, you said he was almost dying.
He's torn to pieces.
And 4 on the other one who I hit with 3 earlier. Ah. Sucks. That's just 3 damage.
Just 3.
Mm-hmm.
Armor's really saving him.
Well, thankfully. Oh wait, I can't. No, wait. Sorry, I take that one. I take that last. Well, actually, I can do that because it's still part of my turn, but I can't do anything else now because of my malicious tormentor. I have to stop now.
I have to stop and savor the kills, even though I'm nearly dead. Yes. Nice. Well, they're definitely distracted. New round.
Here we go.
Initiative to Ardin.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let the hurricane dissipate. Very rare occurrence. Move into the zone and do a few buffies.
Buffies.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm going to use my not often used Saga of Badab Badab. You know it well. Saga Badab Badab. Saga of Grimnir. No, yep, nope, yep.
Yep, nope, yep.
Yep, no, the Saga of Condemnation. This is where it gets spicy. Gets a bit spicy. So I'm going to roll a. What do we got here?
Oh, this is the first time it's actually going to do something.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I don't need to be in the room. Actually, that's fine. It's long range, so that is fine. That is good. I'm actually going to stand back here.
Suits me right down to the ground.
I could have turned 1 into a 6, and I could have made them.
Well, the way no, because I could do metal, and I can still attack someone. Actually, that's fine. Okay, no, okay, right. I will do that then. Actually,
can I roll back just a little bit and turn this 5 into a 6 with my focus, so that this guy can fall prone?
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Go on, Mikey.
So let's roll. Let's get this done first. DN6-1. Let's just get this done.
Prone, man.
Stand.
Prone and frightened.
DN6.
Prone and afraid.
1. Oh, buggering mother. Oh, it's fine, but I can use focus to shift up, so that's fine. Cool, so that succeeds. That was lucky, a bit close there. Great, so that's in play. So the complexity of any spell cast by an enemy is increased by 1, which is great. Then I'm gonna cast a Saga of Grimnir to try and increase damage. Here we go. Where are we gone? Entertain. DN6. Come on, let's get a go. I've never got more than like +2 damage in this one. Oh, rubbish.
2.
2 focus. That's 2. So that's +2 damage to everyone. And then I think I'll just do the Brown Herd. Just hit this guy with my axe. I think with my action. I use my metal to cast the. I know.
Bloody hell, Harry!
The guy on the floor. Wouldn't it be better if you hit some? I don't know.
I don't want to get more into the room.
Yeah. Sorry. I shouldn't have said it.
So
Don't tell me no. You're trying to. You're prone kill him, are you? You're trying to.
No. Just because I'm not gonna say anything. It's not my turn.
I'm not going to do much damage. If he's wounded, it's probably my best bet is to try and take off some of the weaker, smaller fish, rather than go for a big one.
yeah, so his oh wait, actually that is. So if you're attacking a prone target from close range, your melee increases 1 step.
Brilliant. I need that. I'm definitely attacking this guy.
Okay.
Here we go. So my melee is good.
So
His defense is.
average. Are you counting the extra +1?
I don't have +1. We only have +1. We have +2 damage. We have no buffs on melee and accuracy.
I mean, from attacking prone.
Oh yes, I am. Yes, sorry, yes.
Oh.
With +1, my melee is good. His is average. That's 3s to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Battle axe. Here we go. Or battle axe. DN3. DN submit. Here we go. Ooh, bad. Not bad. 3 hits.
So it's 4
plus
damage.
2 damage.
Yeah, he's dead.
Sweet.
Ratty head rolls from his ratty body.
That might be my first kill with an axe. I don't know. I feel like.
Might be.
I think it probably is.
Considering half my character portrait is this giant fucking axe. Pretty
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Gougethorn now he's killed your thing you were
Killed my
tormenting,
prize.
so you have to now kill him.
What?
Isn't that
Wait,
the rule?
what?
Yeah, that's the
That
rule,
would have been
sorry.
quite a good thing to know.
No, it's not. It's fine. It should be though.
Yeah, if you want to be, it sounds quite fun. It would be thematic.
No.
Or, like, you know. being apart for so long, not gelling as a team. We can have our Avengers moment next. We'll have a slow motion pan.
That's true. We have a Klaus. Vargi then.
Yep.
Impossible
Well.
death saving throw time.
Did we establish it's a 4-4?
Yes.
4-4.
Then it is possible. So I will attempt the possible roll before we start talking about soul found.
Oh yeah, before. In mind, is it?
I do have. I had saved up XP. And I put those 4 XP into it at the start of the session.
Yes.
By the way, I did. You know why? Because I couldn't be bothered looking up any more talents and things. So I do have 4 mind. But here we go.
All right. Good luck.
Right, I'll just click on mind then, I suppose. 4 4s. Oh wait, what is there a death saving?
Yeah, there's a
Oh, I wouldn't know. I've never used it. Oh no.
I mean, it's kind of close.
Now hear me out. The backup plan talent that I have allows me to re-roll a test if I failed, but I scored a 1 on it. However, it does increase the complexity of the test by 1, which I'm just thinking now might be pointless.
My spell doesn't increase the complexity of our spells, just so we know.
Yes.
So
Just
I probably won't do that because it would be a waste, and if I survive,
4
I might
fives?
need it later. Yeah, 4 5s just seems somewhat improbable. So no, Vargi coughs and splutters on. I can't remember now. I can still act?
You're
Attack, right?
Yeah, you're stunned, so you can still attack once.
Okay. Well, you might as well, right? Might as well. He coughs and splutters and just aims indiscriminately into the room, assuming that Gougethorn will just like dodge and weave.
And Sichuan.
Yeah, that's Sichuan. Yeah. Sichuan who told Tegan to run over his goods. Yeah, hopefully.
Was that in your dying moments? That's what he's worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you not met Duardin?
He worries on him that intensely. Jesus Christ.
So, what's target's day going to be? Target Steve, sorry.
It will be good from their cover.
Okay. Okay. Right. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Right, 3s then. Bish, bash, bosh. Can't use any metal, can I?
Not when you're stunned. No. You've stunned my characters many times.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Oh, is it?
Well, it's rubbish with Vargi. Right, it's 3 successes for a total of 5 damage with no armor piercing.
On which warlock?
This one.
The middle one?
Yeah.
5, you say. Down to 3. And then they'll take 3. So actually the splash damage does kill that one.
And then Vargi, like, shuffles.
Yeah.
Fucking rat bastards. What lightning.
Ow.
Sure, you lightning on me, just you wait back in the feet. Klaus!
Very, I like it. It's very, the guy from Home Alone.
Yes, it really is.
Right, Klaus then.
Not long after resuscitating Gougethorn, he's needed straight away.
Yeah.
Kind of just tossing his satchel of medical supplies across the room to Vargi. might have hit him or not. He's gonna dash, vaulting over boxes and dashing into the corner. Nestling up to Vargi, maybe a bit too close.
Don't you get the chat started.
He's gonna attempt to resuscitate him. Not with Klaus's scream. Time. Let's see.
I thought you did you make healing potions?
Yeah, but I think well, I think it was like 1 or 2. I think it was 2, and I'm not sure what I did with them. I gave one to Vargi, but he might have used it, or gave to someone else to use.
I recall being given some Klaus cream, but I don't recall having it.
I don't think you've ever needed it.
Until now.
Until now.
No, I don't seem to have anything noted down.
I think it only recovers toughness, though.
Yeah. That's how.
Which may still come in handy.
Yes.
The DN5, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, you can use an. Yeah, it's a 5/4.
3 success. 5/4.
So you need 4 5s.
Is this like a continued test?
No, so it got bigger because Vargi got hit when he was mortally wounded and he failed tests, so it went from a 4/3 to a 5/4.
Should have really taken the medicine talent, you know.
I mean, this is the first time you would probably ever think to use it.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you.
I'm surprised I even had the points of medicine.
You can. Okay, he's rolling. I was saying an ally can use a point of Soulfire on Vargi's behalf.
It's alright, Vargi can do it this time, can't he? He's not dead.
That's true.
He shouldn't be getting shot where he is now.
Yeah, but we could also wait until we actually have to use it. So we can go another turn before we have to use it, which is what I was going to do in my case as well. So you can still get up without having to use it. So since it's the last one.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 engineers are going to shoot into Gougethorn. 2 are going to shoot into Sichuan.
Wait, now they're shooting. Wait, shooting the energy.
Shooting, yeah, shooting the warp lightning.
Oh, it's like,
this-
we actually do have guns. Sorry.
Here are massive Skaven guns.
I mean, this is going to ignore armor, so...
+1 complexity, please.
+1 complexity, please. So these are 5.
Vargi, are you
threes.
doing +2 damage?
I'm not in a zone with you.
Yes, that's how it works. Well done for remembering.
Thank you.
Actually doesn't succeed.
Huh?
That does succeed, so that is 6 damage onto you, Sichuan.
What?
Ignoring armor.
I guess no blocking or anything, right? Or is it?
No
armor?
no blockage.
No armor, no nothing.
Nope.
Gar.
Gar. And they actually fail against Gougethorn. That pesky
How's this shot
right
without
of
complexity up?
peskiness. Gougethorn, is your turn.
Perfect. So we have a... you don't have a +1 anymore, right? Because to melee, because it's gone now.
No, they're
Is it?
+1. Sorry, but they
Yeah,
but
that's
the
fine.
+2 stopped those guys from getting you. So you know.
No, that's good. That's good.
It's +2 damage, though, right?
You're +2 damage, yeah. And the
Yeah, so there's +2 damage. I also have a +1 to my melee because of the whole Malicious Tormentor thing that happened now. And I should also have another one somewhere. Yeah, and because I have Relentless Assault, while wielding a melee weapon on each hand, my melee increases 1 step. So my melee is currently superb. Right, I've got 2 metal left. There's 4 of them. Let's go. So, first attack, splitting it into 2 again. So
Mhm.
7 and 3. Sorry, 4 and 3. What? I'm slashing at these 2. Going with the 3 first. Yes, perfect. I have 1 focus. I'm going to turn that 1 into a 2. There's a 6 there, which increases the. That's if he's down. But it's still good because that's a 4 damage. It also destroys 1 armor, if they have any.
Mm-hmm.
And slices its tendon, so it is knocked down. And if they move for the remainder of combat, they suffer 1 damage. Ignores armor.
So is that the 4 damage plus the 2 from Sichuan?
Yeah, plus the 2 from Sichuan, yeah.
That is 4 total. Okay.
But now you also have to reduce his armor by 1.
Done. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's one of them. And the other one. Okay, I'm gonna use 1 focus to turn that 5 into a 6. So same things happen.
So reduce armor by 1. Same again, damage 4.
Yeah, no, damage is now 2 and 2 with Sichuan's, so 4 in total.
Okay. Cool.
And it's also prone again as well.
Okay, so they're both prone.
Using 1 metal. I'm going to repeat the same thing with the other 2 over there.
Okay.
Perfect. No need to use focus. Oh, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. 5 damage, including Sichuan's.
That actually kills that one.
Perfect. Now I need to calculate anything else. And yeah, plus 1 on that one. So that's 4, 5, 6 damage on the other one. Just not thrown then. Though.
All right. Torn through.
And I still have 1 more metal which I'm going to use. And repeat the same thing again on these 2.
Fucking Master Yi over here. Q to win.
Do I have to use metal on that 5 to turn into a 6 to add 1 more damage? I don't think so, right?
It's up to you.
I'm not going to do it.
How much damage total?
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 extra from Sichuan's. So that's 6.
Dead.
Yeah, I thought so. And the other one, bam, 5 damage.
Dead.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn. Woo.
Right, new round. Sichuan, Vargi?
Just 1 guy left. Vargi's, you okay? Do you need help, Vargi? Or
You go get him, Tiger.
I mean, that seem very tough. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna just bomb it in there and just whack him to death with my axe.
Yeah.
It'll be your second axe death.
Maybe.
Yeah. We also made it canon
Piss
that
me
you smash your braces like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to ask. Yeah, I didn't know. I got an item, didn't I? What was that? It was just I was checking my sheet. I've not got it. It was
Your braces of iron, it gives you +1 body or something, or I can't remember. Anyway, it's all good. Roll your attacks. You might kill it, and then we can finish.
Let's do it. Here we go. So what's his defense average?
Average, yeah.
So we're on 4s.
This guy wasn't prone, was he?
No, he's not prone.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
You're back.
Here we go. DM4. He's off. Yeah, 2 successes and 3 successes with a focus. That's 3 damage.
Shing.
No
Slice.
damage.
I'm
No.
dumb. I literally just noticed that
Oh, was that
I
it?
missed 1 extra damage from each of my attacks.
Woo!
Perfect, as this one killed him.
I feel like a hero.
Yep.
Nice.
You just step through the swirling death around you of Gougethorn, and you're like, you're made. Oh, pizza party.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
silence. Well, there's no silence, but relative safety dwells in the engineering deck. And Sichuan, as you look through the other side, you see the warpstone core spitting, shaking, vibrating as it powers the whole cogfort. Ready for the proverbial spanner in the works. Well, that's it. That was one deck.
Well, that was spicy.
That was really good. I missed this. I really missed it.
And Dreadbark's still hanging outside, looking through the hole. It's okay, guys. I'll do a speech at them from outside here.
Classic Dreddy.
Yeah.
Classic.
That was fun. Happy to be back.
Good.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
It's very good.
The drama has intensified.
Putting it lightly.
I'm sure glad we didn't split the party for this little engagement.
Yeah. No, that's why. I don't know who mentioned it, but like, yeah, the whole two turns, two things thing.
I'm not quite sure we've got it figured out yet. I'm sure it'll become clear.
Yeah. And now we can actually split up for the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of doing two turns. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We can all do one more, so we can all either. Yeah, we can maybe do.
Yeah, when I was thinking it all out and thinking through it all, I forgot the whole like 2 turns thing. So I thought we actually have to do either one or all of them at once. So that's my bad. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
It's a bit confusing. That makes it all just makes sense now.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens next time. I sort of was like, I was preparing like the 4th or 5th threat, the 4th or 5th like battle map, and I was like, they're not going to get this far, are they? Are they? No.
Well,
no.
Got through the first one, not really though.
Yeah.
It was a very intense fight, to be honest.
I was expecting Gougethorn just to leap from one murdering to leap to the next murdering it.
Although to be fair, actually, you still have to roll to stabilize Vargi or use Soulfire.
Well, that's
yeah.
Well, no, Klaus should be able to do it easy. No, he has a good.
Well, I can take the medicine
not easily
next time.
He'll have to roll
5-4.
4 5s.
It'll be 5 5s next.
5 5s, which is statistically possible, but very unlikely.
Actually, if you fail your test, which you will, it would be a 6-5.
So it'll be Soulfire and Lock.
Yeah.
Where's all this
No,
negativity
wait,
coming
isn't it-
from? We're gonna pass it. Come on.
Why is it 6-5? Isn't it 5-4 right now? Wouldn't it be 6-4 then?
It was 5-4, and then
It was
it was 5-4, and then if he fails again, it will be 6-4. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So still doable.
4 6s, yeah.
And then we can use Soulfire if that doesn't work.
Go on, Klaus. Roll 6 4s. Save us a Soulfire.
But right now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, it's a good thing
Pressure.
Goldmane didn't put up too much of a fight.
Oh, why is it? Oh, wait. Oh.
Well,
That was
is it
wait.
5 4s or 6 4s?
It was 5 4s.
Yeah, so you did it.
No, 5
6.
5 4s.
Wait, 5-4, isn't it? Does that mean 4?
No, I'm saying it's a hang on. It's a 5-4 test, which does mean 4 5s. Actually,
Exactly. Yeah.
so he did do it.
So we got it. Yeah. Why?
He did miraculously do it.
Yeah. So he did it.
Klaus, he coming in clutch, baby.
That is quite some rolling you've done there.
Medic on deck.
Yay.
Oh my god! And you made chat so happy because they did ask for a scene where Klaus revives Vargi, and their eyes lock over the compressions, and it's kind of like, you know, that scene in The Hobbit, the terrible bit where Poldark Dwarf is like, at Kate from Lost. Anyway,
Are we saying that Klaus's eyes start glowing gold as well?
we'll get that fanfic up. No time.
Excellent.
All right.
Oh, close. I knew you'd help.
Don't say Klaus's name like that again.